Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs, and I'm also a legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. So welcome to Mediation Mondays. Let's talk about not missing out, how divorce mediation can simplify your life. It really can. So what is divorce mediation? This is an opportunity for you and your spouse to have a conversation and settle all of the terms of your divorce without going to court. There are court-appointed mediators, and in Los Angeles County, if you and your spouse cannot agree on what to do with your children in terms of their custodial care, then you will need to see a court-appointed mediator before you are allowed to schedule time with a judge. But this is not what this is. This is private. It's voluntary. That doesn't mean it's free, but it's voluntary. It means you and your spouse must both agree to mediate. And if either one of you does not want to mediate, you cannot be forced into mediation. Once again, at the court process, they will force you into mediation before you can see a judge if it's related to children. All right, but for private mediation, this is completely voluntary. You both have to agree on being there and agree on the mediator. So what are some of the benefits? We could talk about benefits, features, and things like that. The number one thing is you kind of get done sooner. Now, I say kind of because people drag their feet, but in terms of the court process, you're not waiting to get on the court's calendar. You're not at the mercy of someone's schedule. This is you and your spouse working together to get your stuff done so that you can set up a time with the mediator and hammer everything out. So it's cost effective. Once again, it doesn't mean it's free, but you are paying the mediator's fee, whether that's $400 an hour, $500 an hour, whether there's some sort of package of flat fees where it includes a certain amount of hours. Usually that total is cut in two. So you pay half and your spouse pays half. You guys are sharing the mediator's fees together, as opposed to you getting a lawyer and they getting a lawyer and you're each paying for your own lawyer. So you save money in the sense that you're paying for one person and you're dividing that fee. It's time saving because, like I said, you don't have to wait to get on a court's calendar. You can expedite the process. You can't expedite the 6-month waiting period, but you can get all of your other stuff settled and agreed upon. The other thing is, I work a little bit differently than other mediators. Here's my philosophy. If you can agree on issues without my help, agree on the issues without my help. Get it done. Come to me for what you need my help on. That just kind of makes sense, especially if you have children together or maybe your children are grown and you're going to have grandchildren together. There's a life that you've built together. The more you can resolve your conflict together, the better off you'll be, because things are going to arise in the future. So it can save you time, but it can also really build goodwill, because even though you're getting a divorce, if there are children involved, or maybe you have a business together and you're going to continue to own the business together, you are going to have an ongoing relationship. So building goodwill is really important. You get control to a certain extent, right? We can't control everything, but you have control to a certain extent. You can't control what the judge will say or do, but you can negotiate the process. You can do some give and take with your spouse and kind of trade things around so that everybody kind of walks away satisfied and feel like they were heard and kind of got a little bit of what they wanted instead of just splitting the baby in half, so to speak. This is confidential. If you've ever been to court, you go through the metal detectors and you go into a courtroom. Nobody's going to stop you walking into a courtroom. And you're just there. And you're hearing everything. All the juicy details, all of your business, all of your dirty laundry is hanging out there for anyone in your city to come and get all that information, including the other woman or the other man in the relationship, that third person there who shouldn't be there and is the reason you broke up. They could be in the courtroom. That doesn't happen. That's not allowed in mediation. It's confidential. It's you, me, and them. And if you guys have attorneys, then you need to agree that we're going to both bring our attorneys, or we're not going to bring our attorneys. And then it's you and your attorney in a breakout room, and them and their attorney in a breakout room. This is not, nobody else should be there. No one should be on the other side of the screen listening. There is no recording. This is a marriage, and you're dissolving the marriage. The two of you came together, just the two of you. And now just the two of you, with my help, are going to move apart. It's confidential. Okay. In a way, it's less stressful. It's always stressful. If you're getting a divorce, chances are you have reached impasse in a lot of your arguments, and it's just like, oh, what's the point? We can't agree. We just keep arguing about the same things over and over and over and over again. So when you come to mediation and you have that type of relationship, yes, it's stressful. It's stressful to try to have that conversation and really hope that you can find a resolution. But it's not as nail-biting stressful of what is the judge going to decide. Do I need to go to trial? Will I win my trial? Because, you go to trial. There are some people who go to trial for the divorce. It's that bad. And they've got to wait a few weeks to hear the judge's decision. And they may have lost. That is stressful. You know what you're getting in mediation. So let's talk about the process. Key stages of the mediation process. Well, the first thing is you're going to have to come meet me. And I'm going to have to meet you. We're going to have to figure out, is mediation a good fit? Do the two of you want to work with me, and do I want to work with the two of you? Do we get along? Is there synergy? Do we click? Can we kind of make magic happen in the sense that can we trust one another to get to that agreement? So in this first meeting, I'm going to explain the process, kind of like what I'm doing here about no one else recording. And then you're going to tell me some interesting things. I'm going to gather some information from you. I want to know, do you have kids? Do you have a business? What about retirement? Do you own property? Do you have strange, different stock situations? Maybe you have a brokerage account, but maybe you also have some stock options. Maybe you have some restricted stocks. That's a little bit more complicated. These are all things that I need to know about so that as we get into it, I can tell you, you probably need to elicit the help of this person, because the sun does not rise and set on me. I do not know everything. I can help you negotiate, but in terms of deciding how much your retirement should be divided based on when things vest and how much interest has accrued during your marriage, during your retirement, you need to go to a financial person. And I've got great recommendations for you. So then in order to come to mediation, it's really important that you complete step 2 of your divorce, which are your financial disclosures. Because once those are done, I can see everything on your paperwork in black and white. I can see what you owe and own. We can calculate child support. We can figure out a starting point for spousal support if necessary. Then you come to mediation. Okay, we've had our intake. I know what the issues are, and it's what's the most pressing thing today? Is it the kids? Is it the house? What are we talking about today? And then we begin our negotiations from there. Once you are done, I send you notes at the end of every session of everything that you've agreed upon, your current proposals, the things we need to still discuss, any homework that still needs to take place. Once you're done and you're all settled and everything, then you take those agreements, my notes, and you put them into your divorce paperwork. So if you're working with an attorney, you would hand that over to your attorney. If you're working with a legal document assistant, you would hand it over to a legal document assistant, and they can put it in the right format for the court and submit it for your step 3 judgment and to get court approval. So how do you get ready? What are some tips to get ready for mediation so that you can have an effective session? I don't expect people to have everything and all the time. Obviously, I said your financial disclosures need to be done, but every once in a while, there's one person who will be like, I just don't know. Well, I don't know. I need to talk to someone. And then we have another session. Oh, but I didn't talk to anyone. If you are having issues making financial decisions and you've not sought help, you need to go seek that help. You need to get some individual advice, some guidance. so that you have the full picture, or go speak to an attorney so that you have the full picture so that you can negotiate and feel confident in your ability to make a deal for yourself. You need to set realistic goals. Don't expect to steamroll your spouse in mediation. That's not what mediation is for. It's to create a creative solution. It's also not just, well, I just want what's fair. I just want to split things 50-50. Then you should just go to court. This is about creativity. It's about give and take. You want to stay open-minded, because your spouse may make a proposal and you're not happy about it, but the more you think about it and, you guys tweak and finesse and change some things around, it actually might be okay. It might be okay. I understand not trusting your spouse and feeling like, well, how do I know if this is a good deal? They're not thinking about me. Take their offer to an attorney or to a CDFA. Have someone look at it who can advise you on your legal rights or the financial implications of that offer. So then you can know, well, maybe he's not or she's not thinking about me, but this offer is not all that bad. Be positive. Be positive. Sometimes people come to mediation, I don't really want to be here. They're crying. That's rare. But they don't want to be there. I don't want to hear what my spouse has to say. And I'm like, why are you here? I'm nice. I'm just kind of like, do you feel safe? Are you sure you want to be here? And the more we talk, the more they're like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. It's actually might be okay. Yeah. Be positive. Something good could come out of this. And this is the beauty of mediation. You don't have to agree. You don't have to reach an agreement. Going to mediation does not prevent you from going to court. You could reach an agreement on 10 items, but on item 11, you can't reach an agreement in mediation. You can still go to court on that. It's fine. So this is not all or nothing. This is not arbitration where it's going to be a decision that's binding no matter what. Your mediation decision is binding once you sign the agreement, but the mediator doesn't make decisions for you. So stay positive, trust yourself, and remember, you guys are in control of this process. And then I've said it already. I'm going to say it again. Consider outside professional guidance. Consider getting legal advice. Consider getting financial advice. Consider getting real estate advice, mortgage advice. Maybe some divorce coaching, maybe some parenting coaching. Talk to the people you need to talk to so that when you put your head down at night, when you lay your head down at night and your divorce has been finalized, you sleep peacefully because you have no regrets. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that you got everything you wanted, but it's that you walked into your divorce decisions with an open mind. You knew your goals. You knew what you were entitled to. You knew what you were getting, you knew what you were giving away, and you had agency in that negotiation. So be prepared. It really can simplify your life, because if you get your financial disclosures done relatively quickly, you can get on that mediator's calendar. And depending on how fast you go, you can have your divorce settled before the 6-month waiting period is up, so that all you're doing is submitting your paperwork to court and waiting for them to stamp it. It can really simplify your life, and you can be done before you know it. And there is nothing worse than looking at the court docket and like, oh, I got a court date coming up. Oh, that's so stressful. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. All right, so if you're considering a divorce, if you are looking at mediators, go ahead and reach out to me. I'll put my link below so that you can schedule a phone call with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if this was useful, share it with someone. Have a great week.